Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today is a good day. I wanted to show you this. This was sent to me by Brian Melancholy at Mike Honcho _11. I wouldn't have shown it in this format, but I am because I couldn't find the video myself. But I just wanted to illustrate to you that Bitcoin was mentioned. They talked about it on Fox News this morning. And I believe this guy, I can't remember this guy's name. I want to say it's Charles something or other. Well, what's interesting in this video to me, and I watched it a couple of times, he's one of the main financial guys on Fox Business, is my understanding. And he still does not understand what digital assets are about. He says that Bitcoin is basically just millennials who have come into some money and they like this alternative investing. And he said they're basically interested in Bitcoin and weed, is what he said. This guy has a fundamental misunderstanding of what's really coming. And to me, it's just a further indication of just how early we all are. And so I think it's great. But I wanted to comment on that. But I also wanted to show it just to show you that the FOMO is going on big time today. And here's the other place that it was shown. Thomas Lee, if I can get the website has slowed my computer down. Okay, they got so many ads. We need coil. We don't need all these ads. I'm so sick of these ads. Anyway, Thomas Lee was on. They tried to make I forget this guy's name too, but they tried to make fun of him. This is on Fox Business Network. They tried to make fun of Thomas Lee about how he predicted 25,000, and Thomas Lee was obviously uncomfortable, but he basically said, "Well, I still kind of think it's going to happen." So, but just the fact that they were on Fox Business is huge in itself. Okay, let's move along. From XRP Crypto Wolf. Malta financial regulator approves first 14 crypto assets agents. The approval comes 5 months after the Virtual Financial Assets Act. The watchdog states that its representatives will now be assisting these crypto services providers under the VFA. So Malta keeps on cruising down the line, making sure that they are going to lead the way in blockchain. What needs to happen is the United States Congress needs to go take a road trip. The Financial Services Committee needs to hop a plane and go sit down with Malta, and then go to Liechtenstein, then go to Switzerland and learn some lessons about how you need to jump into this, because time is going by, folks. Okay. Next, I got this from Xmin XRP at XRP33. And he sent me this. Now, this is interesting, folks. This is very interesting. I've looked all over the internet, and I haven't seen anybody that really could put their finger on why Bitcoin took off and why this market has taken off. Well, I'm about to give you a good indication here. And I hope this is a pretty interesting article. If it's true, it kind of tells you another story, too. Massive Bitcoin whale triggered BTC surge with $100 million order, says crypto investment firm CEO. And this is CEO of cryptocurrency firm BCB Group, says Bitcoin's massive pump was triggered by a single Bitcoin whale. Well, here's what's important about this. It looks very coordinated. It looks like someone did this intentionally to get this market going. And I believe that eventually the same thing or a similar thing is going to be done to take us fully into this full-on bull market. And it might be in process. It might be a planned thing that's in process right now. He told Reuters that 20,000 BTC buying spree executed simultaneously on Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp is largely responsible for the surge, which briefly boosted the price of BTC above 5,000. there's been a single order that has been algorithmically managed across these three venues of around 20,000 Bitcoin. If you look at the volumes on each of those three exchanges, they were in concert, synchronized units of volume around 7,000 Bitcoin in an hour. And then it says crypto analyst Data Dash says that at some point, now this is important, folks. This is where your life and my life changes. This is what I believe has been going on for the last 12 months in preparation for what he's talking about here. Crypto analyst Data Dash says at some point he believes large holders of Bitcoin who have accumulated BTC in the over-the-counter markets, in the over-the-counter trades, will have a large incentive to begin spot trading on crypto exchanges to lift the price. In other words, folks, now let's face it, okay? Let's face it. The over-the-counter market is created just like the IPO market, and I'll show you about that in a minute. The over-the-counter market is there for the wealthy. That's what it's there for. So the wealthy, they've been in this game for a long time. This is not their first rodeo. This is a planned thing. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. This is how the money is made. And they lay it out right here, exactly how it's going to happen. Watch this. We have to understand that over the past months, we've had a good opportunity for over-the-counter buyers to finally start picking up Bitcoin at these lower levels. And once they have enough incentive, once they have enough at stake in Bitcoin markets, once they've built up their long-term positions, they have an incentive to trade on the spot market, meaning to clear through the order book to start buying positions on spot market. Why would they do that? Well, it's because they've got a much more substantial position that they bought OTC where they didn't incur slippage. And now they have an incentive for price to actually have slippage to the upside, to clear through that order book, to buy some extra Bitcoin on an exchange, really across most of the major exchanges, probably around 50,000 or 60,000 Bitcoin. And from there, actually increasing the value of their much larger position. And this can happen in crypto markets, whether people think it's moral or not. I think that's substantially what's happening. I totally agree with what they're saying here. And the reason I agree is because I know how the IPO market, I've watched this firsthand. When I was a financial advisor, for those of you that don't know what an IPO is, it's an initial public offering, okay? And the way this works is, let's say you've got a company and you want to take that company public. You go to one of these, usually these are the biggest underwriters. You go and have your IPO underwritten. You need an investment bank to help you go public. This is how they own this system. The biggest underwriters in 2016 were Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, Merrill Lynch, and Morgan Stanley. I was a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley. I watched all this happen. The way this works is, let's say that Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley jointly are working on an IPO, and they're going to take this company public. Well, there's many steps to it. I'm not going to go through all of that, but eventually the goal is to come up with a stock symbol and issue that stock publicly on the stock markets so that someone can even go in their E-Trade account and buy it. Well, guess what happens at the brokerage firms? It's a game. Guess what happens at the brokerage firms like Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley when they underwrite this new IPO? The first thing they do is they turn around to their high net worth clients and they offer that IPO at the IPO price usually to those high net worth clients. They give them the benefit of having their money parked at a price that is better than what the public's going to get the IPO at. And then they go public. And that's how the wealthy stay wealthy. It's one of the tricks of the trade. And I've always thought that the over-the-counter market is the same thing. They can say all day long what it's really for, whatever. But in my opinion, that's what I've always thought. From the first time I even heard of what it is, that's what I thought. Is that over the counter, that is just a way for the wealthy to stay wealthy and keep getting wealthy. And I'm not saying that it's a terrible thing or a good thing. Makes me want to get wealthy so I can be in on the game. So, but this is, I mean, I've seen this firsthand. This is what happens, okay? And so this article, I totally believe that this is the kind of thing that's going on. Okay. Next, from XRP Research Center, at XRP Center, extremely educational AMA. I talked about Joel Katz's AMA yesterday, but he summarized some of the questions here, and you can go into his feed at XRP Center. These are just a handful of the questions he answered. Click here and you can go straight to his answers and read the whole thing. Next, from Alex Kruger, who's an economist, I believe. I'm going to follow him. I don't think. Let's see. Let's see what he is. Economist, trader, Columbia MBA. So he's no dummy. Everybody outside crypto is talking about Bitcoin today. From banks to funds to family offices to brokers. The retail people are everybody's chattering about it, folks. The cab drivers. Barry Silbert tweeted this out today. Yep, crypto sentiment has gone from negative to meh over the past few weeks. Now, he tweeted this in January of 2019. He says, my guess is when sentiment eventually turns positive, it will quickly go to FOMO. And then today he tweeted that old tweet out and says, yep. So he's seeing what I'm seeing and what you're seeing. It's all over the place. And by the way, before I forget, one thing that's always good to do on days like today is watch on CNBC at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Watch CNBC Fast Money. They usually talk about digital assets when there's a reason to talk about them, like today. Okay, from C3 Nick, during bearish markets, it can be easy to forget how quickly these markets can move in either direction. A little bit of consolidation would be helped in order to maintain this higher price level instead of an immediate, further fast rise to the upside. It's fine with me, but he makes a very good point there. And I've told you this a lot. It's so easy to get depressed. We've been in a long bear market and all that, and it can get the best of us down at times. But don't ever forget, this thing can change on a dime, and it can change to crazy levels on a dime. And like I showed you this morning on Coin Paprika, if you look at 7-day, 30-day, and 1 quarter, you see almost nothing but green, and I'm talking about big green. And there's a reason for that. Okay, Ripple tweeted this out, and I don't think their timing is a coincidence either. Distributed ledger technology, cross-border payments potentially offer a promising pathway to dramatic improvements in the lives of millions of people. And they're tweeting out this, I think it's a blog from World Bank. This is the World Bank, folks, blogs.worldbank.org. Paying across borders, can distributed ledgers bring us closer together? They literally talk about Ripple in this article, folks. Solutions are being actively tested in the market. In 2018, Ripple, a fintech company, piloted XRapid, a DLT-based cross-border payment solution along the very competitive U.S.-Mexico corridor. Financial institutions involved in the pilot saved 40 to 70% in foreign exchange costs. The average payment times was just over 2 minutes. The transfer of funds on XRapid took 2 to 3 seconds, with most of the processing time explained by domestic payment rails and intermediary digital asset exchanges. Folks, that's the World Bank. Is the World Bank talking about any other digital assets? Not to my knowledge. Okay. And finally, this is something, now, I've talked to you a lot about having Ledger Nano S and keeping your digital assets off of exchanges. I have not addressed this to my knowledge ever in a video, and it's important for now, because now the most important thing you can do when you see the prices rising is that the hackers will get even more aggressive on these exchanges trying to steal digital assets as the prices go up. You got to get them off the exchanges, put them on a Ledger Nano S or some other hard wallet. Well, this was a question that my father had about these things, and other people have had, that I wanted to make sure I addressed. You get a 24-word recovery phrase with your Ledger Nano S. You lose those 24 words and you lose your digital assets, okay? Well, the question that comes up often is, well, what if I lose the Ledger Nano S? What if it gets, what if somebody beats it with a sledgehammer, or my house catches on fire? What if I lose the ledger itself? Well, the good news is you don't need the ledger. This is done on a, it supports a, what do they call it? BIP32 is like a language, supports the same standards as Ledger. BIP32. So anyway, I don't understand healthcare language and all that lingo, but that's the gist of it. So if you need, here it is. Okay, choose a BIP 39 or BIP 44 compatible hardware wallet or software wallet. In other words, you don't need your Ledger Nano S. You can do one of two things if you lost your Ledger Nano S. You can go and get another Ledger. You can get a Ledger X, Nano S, Ledger Blue, Ledger Nano, Ledger HW.1. You can, and then you just say that you want to restore an old one and use your 24-word phrase. Okay, you can restore your digital assets to the new one. Okay, if you don't have one of those, or if Ledger goes out of business and you can't any longer even get a Ledger Nano S, then you can go to the following. These are software wallets: Mycelium, Electrum, Bither, Coinomi, Jack's Liberty, MyEtherWallet, MyCrypto. You can go to any of those, and they also use those same 24-word passwords to get access to your digital assets. And so you can do those. And some of them are like, that one's desktop, this one's for a smartphone. And also, they may not have named them here, but there are and will be in the future other hardware wallets that are created that also support this BIP 39, BIP 44 compatible. So it's not the end of the world, but do not lose your 24 words, because that is the end of the world. That is big time the end of the world. And finally, I want to show you from Bank XRP. This made me laugh today. From Bank XRP, crypto attitude today. Watch this for a minute and see if it doesn't make you laugh. I think it will. If it'll start, here it is. I got a good laugh out of this, and it goes on for a while. It goes on for a while. But get ready, folks, because this thing could go on for a while. Maybe it won't, but if it does, you'll be feeling like this for a good while. But I'll warn you, the last few bull runs have lasted, I think the average is between 5 and 7 weeks. Okay? So we'll see what happens. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and tell your friends and family to go look at Bank XRP's video at Bank XRP, because it's really funny to see the crypto attitude today. And I think somebody else did. He's got one in color too. Hilarious. Thank you for listening.